So there's a lot of people that are not visible at all, either because they were born not in the right place in the world, or for other reasons. But being visible is more than just people knowing their name. It's actually you knowing what they're capable of, what their ambitions and goals are. The big problem is that it's really hard to match what companies are looking for and what people are capable to give. We're working on making sure everyone is visible, not only their names, but also what they are truly about. My name is Filipe Macedo, and I founded Talent Protocol. We make high potential talent more visible. I mean, I think the problem is decades old, and it's a lot to do that there's a lot of talented people worldwide that don't have the visibility and the opportunities that they deserve. And this happens because a lot of things, mainly people with most visibility are people with privilege, and also people that are loud, people that talk a lot about their achievements, what they do. And what me and my co-founder saw throughout our careers, meeting a lot of what we call humble builders, people that just build and don't like to speak about what they do, and seeing that a lot of those talented people weren't getting the opportunities that they deserve, and that had a consequence in how they saw themselves, in their confidence levels, and that they started thinking that they weren't as worth it as other people. And then kind of realizing that a lot of these Web3 tools could help kind of solve that problem. That was kind of the trigger that got us into this journey. One way we're pushing or trying to push humanity forward is also making talent from kind of underprivileged parts of the world more visible. And how we try to do this is basically playing with incentives. So right now, there's not really a good incentive for people to go and look for talented people in those places, because probably they would require adaptation period, like either culturally or in terms of skills. Or the incentives are to look where you always looked, where company employees are already from. And how we do that is, of course, using Web3 and tokens and this idea of career tokens. So it actually incentivizes people to look where no one else is looking. So if you're the first one finding kind of an hidden gem, a new talent, you'll be the one benefiting the most. So the problem we saw in the beginning to get our community off the ground was mostly an onboarding problem. So most of the people excited about getting more visibility and showing off their talent and their skills were people completely new to Web3. So a lot of the people needed to create a wallet to start using our product, especially the core feature, which is launching a token for your career and getting other people to support you and help you progress. And so yeah, a lot of people created a wallet and created their own token like minutes after creating their first wallet. So it's like going from 0 to 100 in just one day. And of course, this required a lot of education, a lot of hand-holding, and especially one-to-one, because we were in the beginning. But also, I think, allowed us to build a stronger community that struggles at first. We started off with this idea of people being able to invest in other people. So if you know someone that's really talented that you believe in, you can actually invest in them. Although this is not only the core of what we do right now, I think this was such a novel and also simple idea to understand that we thought was the best way to kind of kick off the project, because it was novel enough for people to pay attention, was also interesting enough for people to sign up, and also interesting enough for us to get some initial funding. And especially, this was last year, 2022, the experiment was super successful. So even with like a small MVP, seeing all these people and strangers investing in each other, and I think in the first 2-3 months we got to $500,000 invested, like peer-to-peer. So people investing and buying tokens from other people. So what we're doing as a community is actually almost like a circular economy. So companies that want to hire now, they actually, instead of paying us to help find someone for that role, they're actually sponsored the community. So they're basically sponsoring the new ones coming in. So through scholarships, through education, through mentoring programs, they're actually paying for this education and development of the new ones. And by doing that, they have access to the ones that are already more advanced. We have our scholarship program called Talent House, which is also done in partnership with Protocol Labs. And we have a bunch of use cases from people coming in from that scholarship program and then getting that support network that allows them to make the decision of dropping out of college, of changing countries, of finally starting that started the idea that they had for years. Mainly giving people that safety net that most people don't have will kind of trigger all kinds of good things that happen to them. A pain point that I felt throughout my career was that I couldn't really fit into a job description or a job role. And even in the companies that I spent the most time in, I was always changing roles. And I think there's a lot more people feeling that way, and also something that we're trying to kind of build at Talent Protocol is that people are much more than just a past list of job roles and schools that they attended. That's kind of how we describe ourselves professionally right now, either on LinkedIn or a resume, just a list of full-time roles. I don't think that does a good job of describing someone's capabilities and talent. I do have a technical background and studied computer engineering, but then I realized that wasn't the right path for me, so I actually became a full-time DJ for a year, then went into advertising and marketing. And I think what connects all of this, besides the passion to learn new things, is that I saw a lot of talented people and different kinds of talented people. And a lot of them, and sometimes the most talented ones are the ones that aren't even recognized or aren't even visible. And kind of seeing that mismatch of so many talented people flying under the radar, and also probably less talented people getting all the opportunities and the success made me realize that something wasn't probably working as well as it should. And eventually that led into Talent Protocol. Of course, in hindsight, all seems to make sense. At that point, of course, just felt like I was all over the place. My advice to new Web3 founders, I can go on and on, but I would say you should fundraise before you want to fundraise. So what we did that I think was successful was, even from the first days when we had this initial idea, was showing it to a lot of people. So the first thing is, don't be afraid. No one's going to steal your idea. The more you share your idea, the better it will become. So start sharing it with other people. Start pitching it almost like you were pitching to fundraise, but not fundraising. Just get advice from as many people as you can. Some of them will be interested in being a part of it, and some of them, when you do actually open your first pre-seed round a few months after that, but a bunch of them will join that round almost without you needing to pitch again, because they feel they already know you, they feel part of the idea, and I think more interestingly, they feel like the idea is a little bit theirs as well, because they gave some sort of advice. So yeah, my advice would be, the more you share your idea, the better it will become.